Hello and welcome to today's lesson. In the previous lesson we looked at nutrients and why they are important in a person's diet, in particular to make a balanced diet. Today we need to look at alcohol. By the end of today's lesson you should be able to recall the drug that is found in alcohol, you should be able to describe the effect of alcohol on health and behaviour, and you should be able to describe the effect of alcohol on conception and pregnancy. So today's title is alcohol. You need to write that in your book as you would do any other lesson, and we can make a start. So first thing we're going to write down, we're going to put it in red because it's an important point. Remember, all points in red are very important in my lessons. And we can say that alcohol contains the drug ethanol. Okay? So ethanol is the drug that is found in alcohol. Now, when you drink alcohol, ethanol is absorbed into your bloodstream. We said that nutrients are absorbed in the small intestine into your bloodstream. Ethanol inside alcohol is no different. So we can put when a person drinks alcohol, comma, ethanol is absorbed into their bloodstream. Okay, so ethanol is the drug found in alcohol, and it is absorbed into the bloodstream when you drink alcohol. The ethanol then is transported to your brain, where it affects your nervous system. So we can say that the ethanol is then transported to the brain where it affects the nervous system. Alcohol is said to be a depressant. Okay, it's in a category of drugs known as a depressant. So ethanol and I'm going to tidy that up because that looks an absolute mess. Ethanol is classed as a depressant. Depressant. And that can be our first keyword for today's lesson. Depressant. Remember, all keywords are put in green in my lessons. A depressant is classed as a drug that slows down the body's reactions. So, a drug that slows down the body's reactions. Now, essentially, depressants do this by affecting our nervous system. So we can say that depressants do this by affecting the nervous system. So we've said that alcohol contains the drug ethanol. When a person drinks alcohol, ethanol is absorbed into their bloodstream. The ethanol is then transported to the brain, where it affects the nervous system. Ethanol is classed as a depressant, and a depressant is a drug that slows down the body's reactions. Okay, so alcohol slows down the reactions of our body. Now, if people drink alcohol regularly, they need more and more alcohol in the future so that they get the same effect. So people do tend to drink alcohol to relax. Okay, you often hear people, or you may see it in the media, you may see in the media people saying, oh, I've had a rough week, give me a drink, I'm going to go to the pub, I'm going to drink beers tonight, I really need a beer. And a lot of the time people do this because it has this depressant effect on their body. It slows things down and it allows them to relax. So we can start by saying, and I need to find a different colour we can use, we can start by saying that people drink alcohol to unwind and relax. Okay, so people do tend to drink alcohol to unwind and relax. But if you drink it regularly, it'll get to a point where you need more and more alcohol to get the same effect on your body. So we can say here, but if a person drinks alcohol regularly, comma, they may need to drink greater amounts in the future to have the same effect. Greater amounts in the future to have the same effect. Okay? At this point, we would say that a person is an alcoholic. Okay? So, an alcoholic can be defined as, and I'm going to find the proper definition, so I don't want to butcher it. I want you to have the proper definition for key stage 3. So an alcoholic is a person who is addicted to alcohol. Okay? So a person who is addicted to alcohol. Now, the important point here is some people say, oh, I need a drink, give me a drink. Okay, obviously not you, like you're too young. But adults may go, oh, I've had a rough day, give me a glass of wine, give me a glass of lager, give me a whiskey, okay? These aren't necessarily alcoholics. Alcoholics are people who cannot function properly without a drink of alcohol. Their body is dependent on it, okay? So we can put underneath here, and I'm putting it in red because it's important, we can say that alcoholics cannot function normally without consuming alcohol. Okay? So an alcoholic has to have a drink so that they can function normally. So alcohol contains the drug ethanol. When a person drinks alcohol, ethanol moves into their blood, it goes to the brain where it affects their nervous system. Ethanol is a depressant, and depressants are drugs that slow down the body's reactions. People often drink alcohol to unwind and relax, but if a person drinks alcohol regularly, they may need to drink greater amounts in the future to have the same effect. So your body builds up a tolerance to the amount of alcohol that you drink. Eventually, if people need more and more and more alcohol, they can get to a point where they're addicted to the alcohol. At this point, we say they're alcoholics. Alcoholics can't function normally without consuming alcohol. So this is a video. You can pause the video whenever you want. If you haven't got notes down, you can rewind it. But for now, I want to just discuss how much alcohol is too much alcohol. Okay? And I'm going to use this diagram here to help us. So we can put the subheading, how much alcohol can you drink safely? So, how much alcohol can you drink safely? Question mark, okay? And that's our subheading. So the more alcohol you drink, a different effect it will have on your body. At the same time, different alcoholic drinks contain different amounts of alcohol, okay? So we can start by saying that different alcoholic drinks contain different amounts of alcohol. For example, spirits such as vodka and whiskey contain more than beer. Okay, so we can say underneath, in fact we'll use this colour, vodka and whiskey, we'll just put slash, contain more alcohol than beer. So different alcoholic drinks contain different amounts of alcohol. The government recommends that we shouldn't drink more than 14 units of alcohol per week. So I'm going to put in red that it is recommended to not drink more than 14 units of alcohol per week. So the government recommends we don't drink more than 14 units of alcohol per week. 1 unit of alcohol is exactly 10 ml of pure alcohol. So we can put underneath here, I'll change to a colour that we can actually see, 1 unit of alcohol equals 10 ml of pure alcohol. So in a week, we shouldn't be drinking more than 140 ml of alcohol. Okay? But remember, this can differ based on your body size. So the bigger the person is, the more alcohol they can withstand. So we can say here that the bigger a person is, the more alcohol it takes to affect them. Okay? Now, alcohol is a poison, really. It's a drug, and it's very poisonous to your body. So, depending on how much alcohol you intake, so if you look at this diagram that I've taken from the PowerPoint, if you have no alcohol, obviously you feel normal. If you have a little bit of alcohol, you feel more relaxed and happy. This is where you start to unwind. If you continue to drink alcohol at this point, you become drunk. This is where a person loses control of their muscles, and it makes it difficult for them to balance. If you continue to drink after you're drunk, you get slurred speech, you get blurred vision. If at this point you continue to drink, you become unconscious. If you are unconscious and somehow you continue to drink, someone pours alcohol in your stomach, or you have alcohol in your stomach that hasn't been absorbed into your blood yet, it can lead to death. People can die of alcohol poisoning, and I think a lot of young people don't tend to appreciate that. You can drink yourself to death, okay? You can drink to a point where you die, okay? So we can say from this that the more alcohol you drink, comma, the greater its effect on you. Full stop. This ranges from being drunk to death. Okay? So we've said that different alcoholic drinks contain different amounts of alcohol. Vodka and whiskey contain more alcohol than beer. It's recommended not to drink more than 14 units of alcohol per week. 1 unit of alcohol is 10 ml of pure alcohol. The bigger a person is, the more alcohol it takes to affect them. And the more alcohol you drink, the greater its effect. It ranges from being generally happy or drunk down to death. Okay? If you haven't already, and if you haven't got a printer, could you make sure before you continue with this video that you draw this arrow in your book and write these notes next to it, please? Okay? Pause the video now and get that done. Press play when you're ready to continue with this. So you should have drawn this diagram in your books by now if you've pressed play on the video, okay? Now, a lot of people tend to sit, particularly younger people, and think, oh, it must be great to get drunk. If I look at this and I'm really stressed from school and I want to have a drink of alcohol at home and I want to get drunk because it's really, really funny, why can't I? Well, the thing is, there's some dangers associated with drinking alcohol. It's not all fun and games, okay? And the reason in this country why we have a drinking age of 18 is so that as a young person, you're not damaging your body to a point where it's irreparable before you really understand the problems. So can we put the subheading, please? Dangers of alcohol. Dangers of alcohol. And can we underline it? Okay. Now, drinking large amounts of alcohol over a long period of time can result in stomach ulcers, heart disease, brain damage, and liver damage. So I'm going to put in red because it's important that drinking large amounts of alcohol over long periods of time can lead to stomach ulcers, it can lead to heart disease, it's the worst T ever, heart disease, brain damage, and liver damage. Okay? Now, it's your liver's job to break down any harmful substances inside of your blood. Now, harmful substances include ethanol. So we can say that the liver breaks down harmful substances in the blood including ethanol. So when your body has ethanol in your blood, your liver breaks it down. If you have to break down a lot of ethanol, your liver becomes scarred, meaning that it will not work as efficiently as it otherwise could. Okay? So we can say that drinking too much alcohol, drinking too much alcohol can cause the liver to become scarred. Is scarred one? It's two R's, isn't it? To become scarred and not work as efficiently. Now we've got a picture of this on the PowerPoint, and I'm going to take a copy of it and post it here. Here's two pictures of a liver, okay? The one on the left is scarred due to alcohol abuse. The one on the right is a normal liver. This is what your liver should look like. But if you drink too much alcohol, it's overworked and it becomes all scarred and sort of damaged, meaning that it can no longer work the way it should. You might even notice it's become very oversized. It's become massive compared to the healthy one. So if I make that smaller again, when this happens to the liver, it has a special name, and we can put that as a key word. This is known as cirrhosis of the liver. Cirrhosis. Cirrhosis of the liver. Cirrhosis of the liver is when the liver becomes scarred due to too much alcohol consumption and does not work as efficiently okay, so it doesn't work as efficiently as it could. Cirrhosis of the liver can lead to death. So people who have cirrhosis of the liver can die. So I'm going to put in red underneath there because it's important. Can lead to death. Okay. So drinking large amounts of alcohol over long periods of time can lead to stomach ulcers, heart disease, brain damage, and liver damage. The liver breaks down harmful substances in the blood, which includes ethanol. If it has to break down too much ethanol, it can become scarred, meaning that it won't work as efficiently. This is known as cirrhosis of the liver and can lead to death. Again, this is a video. You can pause it whenever you want. Go over the final part of this lesson, and then we're done. Could you please put the subheading, should pregnant women drink? Should pregnant women drink? Question mark, underline, done. So, the government and the Department for Health recommend that women do not drink alcohol when pregnant. So we can put in regs, it's important, women should avoid drinking alcohol when pregnant. Now, the government and health departments don't say this just to be sort of a buzzkill. The reason they ask them not to is because if you drink alcohol when you're pregnant, it increases the risk of having a miscarriage, which is where you have the baby early and the baby's not fully developed, so it dies. Stillbirth, where you give birth to a dead baby. Premature birth, where the baby's still alive, survives, but is born too early. And it can also result in babies with a low birth rate. So, weight, not rate. We should say that drinking while pregnant can lead to, in fact, apologies, we're going to put drinking alcohol while pregnant can lead to, it's the worst C ever, can lead to, ... miscarriage. I don't know how you spell miscarriage. 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 It can lead to stillbirth. It can lead to premature birth. and it can lead to low birth weight. Okay, all these can be due to a woman drinking while pregnant. Now, this is because when a woman drinks alcohol, the ethanol that goes into her blood also goes into the blood of the baby, which can damage developing organs. So we can say when a pregnant woman drinks alcohol, ethanol goes into her blood, and the blood of the baby, damaging the baby's organs. Okay. Now, something called fetal alcohol syndrome can also affect how the baby's brain develops, which can result in babies having learning difficulties, facial problems, and poor immune systems. So we can put that fetal alcohol syndrome, which can be shortened to FAS, can cause a baby to be born with learning difficulties, facial problems, and weak immune systems. Okay? Alcohol can also reduce fertility, so people who are trying to get pregnant can find it harder to conceive or get pregnant if they drink alcohol. Okay? For example, men produce less sperm if they drink a lot of alcohol. Alcohol prevents their testicles from making sperm. So we can put that people will also struggle to get pregnant if they drink lots of alcohol. Right then, so you should now be able to, we've got a diagram on the PowerPoint that I haven't brought up that shows the short and long-term effects of alcohol drinking, okay? You should now be able to tell me the name of the drug that's found in alcohol. You should be able to describe the effects of alcohol on health and behavior, and you should be able to describe the effects of alcohol on conception. Conception is the ability to have a baby, and pregnancy. If you have any questions, as always, please get in touch via the usual means. Thank you for listening today. I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.